Shalom is your shalom. Barakat YaHaWah, Barakat YaHaWaShi. Halal, YaHaWah BaHaSham YaHaWaShi, BaHaSham Qadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well, who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim pushing this truth all over the earth. And to the Akwith listening, the few Akwith quietly listening, Shalom. Yeah, quick listen. This is your brother Shema from the Pillars of Benjamin camp here in Toronto with a quick lesson, right? And the title of this lesson is meat plants. Meat plants are shutting down, getting shut down, right? And these meat plants, you know, where they pack meats, right, and get them ready to be shipped throughout the country, right? They're being affected by this COVID thing, man. You know what I mean? Right? So yeah, there's a few different news platforms, right? Colorado meat packing plant with thousands of employees closed, right? Poultry workers' death highlights spread of coronavirus in meat plant. Hundreds of U.S. meat workers have now tested positive for the virus, right? And this is gonna have a ripple effect, right, on the supply chain, on the delivery of meats, right? Because anytime a plant or a production company, you know, a manufacturing plant, so to speak. Yeah, so yeah, it's gonna have ripple effects, you know, right, down the road, down the line, you know. And this is just a sign of hunger pains, man, famine. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's all the will of YaHaWah BaHaSham YaHaWaShi, right? It's all the will of YaHaWah BaHaSham YaHaWaShi, right? And when these places get flagged, right, they gotta shut down for 2 weeks. They gotta have deep cleaning for 2 weeks, couple days, but they gotta stay shut down for 2 weeks, and they gotta isolate and quarantine all their workers for 2 weeks, right? That affects their ability to operate. That affects how much gross product they can pump out, right? It affects the shelves, right? We'll read one article here. We'll read this one. Hundreds of U.S. meat workers have now tested positive for virus. Cases reported in Colorado, South Dakota, Pennsylvania. There's been a spike in coronavirus cases at meat plants in the U.S., with hundreds of reported infections in just the last week. That's adding to questions over the fragility of the food supply chain and raising concerns over worker safety. Right, the food supply chain is in jeopardy. As many as 50 people at a JBS SAB facility in Colorado's Weld County tested positive, adding to more than 160 cases at a Cargill Inc. meat packaging plant in Pennsylvania, union officials said on Friday. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem on Friday reported 190 cases at a Smithfield Foods Inc. pork facility. The Associated Press said the Cargill and Smithfield plants are being shuttered, while JBS said it will continue operations. Workers are also starting to die. 2 more deaths were reported by union officials on Friday, one at the Greeley, Colorado meat plant and one in Pennsylvania. Both those facilities are owned by JBS SA, the world's top meat producer, which didn't confirm the deaths. Right? So this is gonna have wide out repercussions, man. Let's get some precepts. Let's go to Exodus. Let's go to Exodus chapter 9, verse 6. Exodus 9, verse 3. Behold, the hand of the Most High is upon the cattle which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain, right? And this was YaHaWah, BaHaSham, YaHaWaShi, telling Moses, right? Tell Pharaoh, all the livestock's going to suffer from pestilence, right? And the Most High shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall nothing die of all that is of the children of Israel, right? So all that was underneath the pharaohs was gonna perish, and all that belonged to the children of Israel was gonna survive. Verse 5. And the Most High appointed a set time, saying, tomorrow YaHaWah BaHaSham YaHaWaShi shall do this thing in the land. And the Most High did that thing on the morrow, and all the cattle of Egypt died, but of the cattle of the children of Israel died not one. Khan, right? And this is one of the ways that YaHaWah BaHaSham YaHaWaShi inflicted pains and plagues and different pestilences on Pharaoh and Egypt, right? Second Esdras. Second Esdras. Second Esdras 15, verse 56. Like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith YaHaWah, even so shall the Most High do unto thee, right? The heathen, the wicked Esau, right? 2/3, right? And shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy cities shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field, right? So this is the Most High just delivering judgments, man. Right? It's the Most High's judgments, man. It's His movie. It's His works. It's His hand on it, on everything, right? 2 Ezra 15, verse 5. Behold, saith YaHaWah power, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, right? And these are just the ways. These are the ways that the Most High YaHaWah BaHaSham YaHaWaShi extracts judgment, inflicts judgment on the world, man. Sword, famine, death, and destruction, man. Right? And we're seeing it ramp up, 2020 year prophecy as decreed by Elder Apostle Tahar, right? Since the new year, man, we're in April. We've just seen one thing after the other, after the other. Halal, YaHaWah BaHaSham YaHaWaShi, BaHaSham Qadash, right? Us in this truth, you know, we're hoping that this is it. Hoping and praying that this is it. Because if this is it, things ain't going to go back to normal, man. It's going to continue to deteriorate. The way things are going to continue to deteriorate. And those that are hanging on to Esau's kingdom, wicked Esau's kingdom, right? They're going to be confounded. They're going to be in straits. They're going to be crying, praying up to their idols, wishing and hoping that things will go back to normal, right? Let's close out with this one. Lamentations 4, verse 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. Right? It says better to be slain with the sword than to die by hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. Right? You want to eat. If you're perishing by hunger, it's a slow death, man. It's slow. Right? Matter of fact, let's get one more. Storehouses shall be empty. We'll close out with that one, man. All right, and we're gonna see. We're already seeing it. We're already seeing it. A little here, a little there. You know. You know. You go to top up your groceries, get some food, and it's bare minimum on the shelves, man. Right. 2 Ezra 6 verse 22. We'll close out with this one, man. And we're seeing it, man. Right? We're just edifying the flock. Right? Blowing the trumpet, edifying the flock, warning the flock of the impending destruction and doom. 2nd Ezra 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Right. You know? The days of going into a grocery store and it being full and abundant, anything you want and anything you need, those days are behind us, man. And it's only going to deteriorate and get worse and worse. Right? And the sown places shall appear unsown. Right? That's just things looking unkempt. Right? Farmer's field, overgrown, unkempt. Right? It's just going to look like a scene out of I Am Legend. Right? That's what's coming for Babylon the Great, America the Great. Halal, YaHaWah, BaHaSham, YaHaWaShi, BaHaSham, Qadash. Double honors once again to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well. Peace and salutation to the Akim, pushing this truth all over the earth. Right? I pray you're edified. Stay prayed up, man. Right? Stay focused. Don't fall out. We're at the end of this thing. You know what I mean? Keep throwing up the prayers to the Most High, YaHaWah, BaHaSham, YaHaWaShi. Right? Kwam Yasharala, Abad Babal.